Welcome back, folks. It is Zephyr, and today we're going to take a look at something that's definitely out of this world. It is the Zephyr gaming mouse. This was shown on Kickstarter last year in 2020, and it did release to its backers back in November. And I got my hands on it thanks to a fellow YouTuber, GraveX Reviews. I'll leave a link in the description below for his channel. Definitely make sure you sub or at least follow him on Twitter. Really great guy and super informative. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in on this. The Zephyr is a right-handed ambi wired mouse that's available in black or white, currently running you $99 USD. What makes this so unique is that it does have a pretty crazy look to it, and most importantly, it has a built-in fan for all you sweaty, clammy palm gamers. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and give you a lowdown on the specs, because frankly, this took me by surprise. Inside we have the tried and true Pixar 3389 sensor. Nothing negative to state at this point in the sensor's life. It is an all-around fantastic sensor to be used in a premium mouse. It does not have software though, so if you do want to adjust the DPI setting, you simply just change that via the DPI button on the top of the mouse. There are 5 PTFE feet, and this felt like more of a designer's choice over an engineer's decision. The feet are kind of spread out far apart to match the style of the mouse, and it almost resembles a claw. They're just all around too sharp along the edges and rather noisy, and because of it being such a unique mouse, I doubt we're going to be able to find replacement feet for this anytime soon. Under the hood are Omron's 50 million click switches. Yes, I heard your groans. Switches do have that history of double clicking on the original G Pro wireless, so only time will tell if that's going to occur in the Zephyr, but in the here and now, the mouse feels a little bit less tactile on mouse 1 than mouse 2, and I think that's not the switches, but more or less the fact that this has a one-piece trigger construction, similar to, say, your Death Adder and other Razer mice, as they aren't resting on their own individual hinge structure, and I definitely don't like that style of design. The scroll wheel is extremely tactile at each step, but silent, like scary, quiet, silent for how tactile this is. It is a tad too narrow for my preference, but the rubber on it is super grippy. The side buttons are very clicky. There's zero mushy feel to it that usually plagues a lot of mice out there, but this does have a lot of post travel. They're also shaped differently, with the front being much more pronounced than the back side button. I actually dig this a lot, so you're never going to mistakenly misclick with these. Let's go ahead and throw a sound test on everything now. So yes, this is a wired mouse, and we unfortunately saw a lot of wired mice at the tail end of 2020 have rather questionable wires. Looking at you, Vaxi, but with this, though, the manufacturers definitely addressed the need for proper paracord, and this is no substitute. This is definitely a fantastic out-of-the-box cable. Matching whichever color option you purchase, it's super flexible, doesn't hold shape at all, and it feels extremely light. It reminds me of the out-of-the-box MM711 or an XM1 version 2 style cable. They just did a stellar job with this. Measuring in at 121 millimeters long, 58 millimeters at the grip, 65 at the furthest flare width, and then a height of 40 millimeters. It does give the appearance of a lightweight mouse, but unfortunately with what it's housing inside, it brings it to a staggering 86 grams. Structurally and visually though, this is not to be mistaken for another mouse. To me, it reminds me of those Candy Nerds or maybe a spider webbing. The cutouts don't take over the sides, thankfully, making this more comfortable than 97% of the numerous cutout honeycomb style mice out there. It's extremely sturdy with zero flexing or creaking, with a matte finish that does have minimal fingerprint collecting, but nothing excessive. The shape is great for a claw or fingertip. I would definitely leave out the palm grippers, as that lip running along the front of the mouse prevents me from resting my fingers comfortably with a 19x10 hand size. It's got a pretty aggressive drop off at the hump for a claw, but it does level off at the top, so it doesn't interfere if you're someone that's looking to use this for fingertip grip. Buried inside like Iron Man's arc reactor sits an RGB lit fan to keep my palm from sweating. Turning it on via the button underneath, I can set it at 30, 60, or 100% or turn it off if I don't want to. Now, obviously, the higher you go, the louder it does get, but it's not audible once you're wearing headphones. I would say it sounds no different than just the humming of your PC. What is noticeable, though, is the vibrations. It feels like your DualShock controller is just stuck, and it's just sitting there rumbling, and it's just an unpleasant feeling, and I would only really recommend using the fan in those most heated moments. If you feel that you are someone that does perspirate a lot, then you definitely want to use it. My time spent with the mouse was really fun, although I will say it's not anything that's going to replace my main at any point in time, but having that really nice paracord, having the great sensor, the arm rounds feel fine, but there is that mushiness, I would say, from the shell. The biggest issue that I do have with the mouse is probably going to be that 86 grams, as it did take some adjustments to really get used to having, I don't want to say a heavier mouse at 86 grams, but it's definitely on the heavier side compared to other mice that I've been using for the past year or more. To adjust the RGB, simply hold M1 and M2 and then click the front side buttons. You have 7 different RGB profiles to choose from, as again, this does not have any software. So at first I thought the Zephyr was merely just a gimmick of a mouse, and to an extent, yeah, it still kind of is, because the biggest selling point is that it does have that fan built in, but with the specs that are included and what I found to be an actually really comfortable claw grip mouse, this is definitely a formidable mouse if you're looking for something just different and you want to try something unique. This is the way to go. I will leave a link in the description below if you are interested at all, as again, it is running $99.99, and I do appreciate GraveX sending this out once again. And until next time, I'm Zephyr, and you stay safe.